All right, welcome to the American Hoops Podcast, episode 50. As per usual, I'm joined by my younger brother, Matt Driscoll.
Chris, it's always a pleasure to be on. Gotta say, I really like the new intro. The little theme song going, short and sweet. I like it a lot.
I was talking to my girlfriend about it like yesterday, and she mentioned how she thinks that this is this was the best one that Tony created yet. So I 100% agree with that.
Shout out Tony and shout out Liv.
Yeah, two great people. So episode 50, the two of us and Dad were talking about it before. Eddie House was the first one that came to mind for episode 50. I said last week we were going to do something big for episode 50. We're not. We're just gonna talk ball. Nothing really special going on yet. Maybe we'll do something more special for either 75 or 100. We'll see.
Chris, I love how Celtic legend, NBA champion Eddie House was the first number 50 to come to mind. By the way,
yeah.
I have a couple if I have a.
All right.
You actually mentioned this one at dinner, which I loved. Another NBA champion and another Celtic legend, Siv Mihailuk. Great pull from you.
Yep.
Or Svi. I say Siv, I think it's Svi. And then I thought of Mookie Betts and also Zach Randolph. Grit and grind Grizzlies. Zebo,
I feel like he's one of those players where people have nostalgia for the the late 2000s, early 2010s a lot. He comes up a lot. I'm sure that's either Aaron Schroeder, aka Possible Chairs, and Nate's know exactly where they have him ranked all the time. He's like, I didn't go that deep yet. I'm sure I will eventually one day. This summer was kind of disappointing with how much I dove into it, but that's okay. Zebo's one hell of a player. Did we mention? I think we mentioned. I know that Dad mentioned Sid Fernandez. I think that's who he said. I'm an awful Mets fan. Which team was he on? Was he on was he early 2000s? Was he on the 2000 team?
I think Fernandez.
Yeah,
I thought he was early 2000s. I'm gonna look it up. That was 90s.
I think so. You want to do that? Speaking of the Mets, they got some big news coming up with that.
I know he closed out the 80s World Series. I don't know when he started. Let me look it up.
Well, I thought that was Bob Wahita that closed the 80s World Series.
You might be right. I don't know.
We're exposing ourselves here. That's really a shame. We got to.
Sid Fernandez started on Dodgers 83, and then played on the Mets in from 84 to 90 or 84 to 93, and then bounced around until 97.
He was a two-time All-Star. Came in 7th place in Cy Young in 1986. So I guess he was in the Mets. I don't think he closed though. Great show ahead of us. Just do us today. We got it short and sweet. Is it hot? Is it hot in your room too?
It is. It's extremely hot in my room.
It is. Okay. Yeah. Oops, sorry about that.
Nice jersey.
Oh, this. Okay. No one asked about it. Okay. I got a great new jersey today. Just came in. All the hot takes. Matt McCann. Matt, you want to explain the backstory to this jersey?
Well, I actually was on our brother John, who's usually joining us on the show, was in a cornhole contest or a cornhole tournament the other week at a local bar around us. He unfortunately did not win, but we stayed after a little bit. I had a couple beers, and I decided to buy AH, who is now collecting jerseys, buy him one of his favorite players to agenda push in Rudy Gobert.
I like how you said favorite player to agenda push, because he's not one of my favorite players in the league. He's not even close. He won't even be in my top 10 or 20, but he's just someone that I feel the need to push an agenda for because of how much hate he gets. But what was I going to say? Where do you think that I should hang up his jersey, Matt, by the way?
I think instead of the Steph Curry jersey, I think it's disgusting that.
Okay. So I did put my head there intentionally because that's today.
I do appreciate
but however, I'm going to be reorganizing the jerseys, and I will 100% be organizing the jerseys to make sure that Rudy Gobert is right next to Shaquille O'Neal, because that'll be a perfect combination between the two. It'll be a nice little romantic story between them, and I'm sure the Shaq would love that. Draymond is biased, yes. Okay, I will not be getting a Draymond jersey because I already have the Golden State one. maybe it's a bias, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, maybe I might take a pause on the jerseys for a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna probably post something about this later, and maybe I can get a sponsor or something to send me some of theirs. So that'd be that make my life much easier. But we will see. So yeah, awesome show ahead of us today. So we're about, what is it? Today's Thursday, so what are we, 2.5 weeks into the season now? So things are really starting to go underway. So yeah, like so far, pretty interesting season. I definitely think that it's pretty surprising to say the least. Like obviously the Celtics are playing great, the Thunder are playing great. Everyone was expecting that, but Cavs are still undefeated. No one was expecting that. I was expecting the Cavs to be good this year. I was expecting them to be about the same, a little better, but about the same. No one was expecting Warriors to be this great. But we'll hop into which teams we think are going to continue with that in a little bit. But however, first we do want to jump into our into the Celtics game yesterday. So Celtics played the Warriors last night, and of course, like every other Warrior game besides last year, like early March, it was actually the game before the very first episode that we had under Sports Fluent, where the Celtics beat the living crap out of the Warriors. That was the last in this. Like other than that, the Warriors have always given the Celtics hell. So yeah, and this game was no exception. The Celtics had a pretty rough game against the Warriors. They played really solid in the second half. But however, fourth quarter comes around, Steph Curry turns into Steph Curry, and closes the door on the Celtics. So yeah, not a ton of takeaways from that game in general. Or we do a few actually, which is why we're going to dive into them. But Matt, what are anything that stood out to you the most?
A lot of takeaways, watching it with Matt McCann, we were acting like it was, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, screaming at the television at the end. But, Tatum wasn't great in the first half. He made the right plays. He was getting like triple teamed and stuff, and he kind of let the game come to him in the second half. But I will start with the negative. Last night, the play where Buddy Hield hit the dagger, Tatum just had a crazy mental lapse in a moment of the game where you have to be like locked in, you have to be focused, and he let Buddy Hield escape to the corner and hit a wide open three. And then another negative takeaway is that they were going on a little bit of a run. They didn't get a stop, but then they moved the ball, or they pushed the ball up, and Tatum kind of settled for like the little shoulder bump fade, and he missed it, and it just like wasn't the shot in the moment. However, another good Peyton Pritchard game. He's my pick for most improved right now. I think he's averaging it was 16 before last game, so he's probably around like 15 and a half or even still 16. To go to 9 points from 16 points is insanely impressive. Derek White is, the second coming of Jesus Christ. He's unbelievable how important he is to this team. Who would have thought that deadline trade for Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and a pick swap would, be the reason why the Celtics be one of the main reasons why the Celtics are champions. And yeah, I mean, the Warriors are way better than I thought. That's another big takeaway. I was, I wasn't huge on them. I'm like, they haven't really played anybody. They looked awesome last night. Their defense looked really, really good. They made Tatum look uncomfortable in the first half. He had 4 turnovers. He had 0 in the second half, but still forcing Tatum to 4 turnovers. They were blitzing ball screens. They were, playing aggressive, and, Buddy Hield was hitting open shots. I think Curry had like 6 points at half or something not that impressive.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Turned it on in the second half. He was awesome. He's still Steph Curry. He's still one of the most frustrating players to watch ever against your favorite team. Yeah. But yeah, they're very deep. They got a lot of guys. Podziemski was out last night, and it still didn't matter. I feel like Kevon Looney didn't have an impact on the game at all. Then he comes in the fourth quarter and gets 3 huge offensive rebounds to take the game away. Very, very frustrating. But yeah, the Warriors are way better than I thought.
Yeah, I was driving. Yeah, I watched the condensed version of the game earlier today. But just listening to the game on the way home, it was so frustrating. Just listening off the mark, rebounded by Looney, which it tends to happen in a lot of these big games. Which I'm not saying that Looney in some ways could be underrated sometimes, but he has his mental breakdowns as well. But when he's locked in, and Warriors are a great team, he is one of the more important glue guys in the league. Yeah, for the Celtics, we love Derek White and everything, but however, let's keep an eye out for him in the next few weeks though, because he's going to be in the Old and the Man three podcast tomorrow. With the other, I forgot the other creator's name. He was like the original creator with JJ. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I think it's a Young Man in the 3 now. Is it called?
It's Young Man in 3. Yeah, but the first I haven't listened. I kind of I haven't listened to them yet. Like the one with Halliburton and Obama, I heard was pretty good. Then it was Kenny Beecham and Joakim Noah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Another one? Okay. Oh, it was actually.
I haven't, since JJ's been off. I hate to say I haven't listened to them. So
no, okay. Well, no, because like he actually meant. I think it was either the most recent or the one before that of the Numbers of the Board podcast that they actually talked about it, and Kenny was talking about how like he was trying to show off his basketball abilities to Noah, and it didn't really work out, which I'm sure it would be the same thing for all of us too. But sending up without Al Horford didn't play great after he was on that podcast. But hopefully with this new podcast, it'll be won't be as horrible. So, but we'll see though. Although Halliburton isn't really looking too great though. So we'll see, after week 1. So
another takeaway from yesterday: rare disappointing game from Al Horford.
Yeah,
he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He will be fine, which is why I usually like to keep this closet just completely clean. Because usually like when I'm not recording, like it's an old closet, so like sometimes like the little lines are a little crooked. I always make sure they're straightened out. But however, I never put this shirt in the dryer just because I want to make sure that it doesn't shrink or anything, because it's a great shirt. But I left it hung up, and I left it hung up for the pod because we're still going to support him no matter what. He could have he could have a really bad rest of the regular season, but as long as he's there for the playoffs, just to play his role, that's what he's here for.
I think once Porzingis is back, he'll play less minutes and he'll be refreshed and way better.
Mm-hmm.
Also, awesome Kata minutes. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit about the game. Awesome Kata minutes. Kata's been a great spark off the bench. He was plus 13, I believe, that last night in a game where they lost by 6. That's impressive.
And that's the luxury of having, because people complain about how we don't have like a valid backup center after injured Porzingis and old Horford. We have the luxury of having just like 3 NBA players, like Tillman, Kata, and Cornette. None of those guys could be starting centers, like everyday starting centers on a championship team. I don't think, but just 3 guys that could just rotate minutes, like be like the backup center, like by committee, depending on a game. 100%. Those guys can do based on matchups. Those 3 guys are NBA players without a doubt, and Tillman's been a little disappointing this year. But that being said, he's kind of playing in roles that are a little uncomfortable. They tried mixing in minutes with him and Cornette. Like that doesn't really work out because neither of them are really athletic or anything. All 3 of them I 100% believe in. But yeah, Kata's been great, and I'm very happy that.
In the comment section makes a good point. He said Kata shouldn't be taking 10 shots. That is extremely true. He took 10 shots. 3 of them were on one possession where he got his own offensive rebound twice and didn't kick out to a wide open Sam Hauser, but it's all right. We still love him.
Yeah. So he only had 8 offensive rebounds. If it was my decision actually. So, I think that'll be our nice little segue to move on. I think that and obviously Celtics miss Jaylen Brown. Anyone who thinks that Celtics are better without Jaylen Brown is an idiot. I'm a teacher. I don't like to throw insults around, especially when it's a meaning word like stupid or idiot. But you are a dumb person if you think that the Celtics are a better team without Jaylen Brown. If they just don't replace him with anyone. That'll take us to the next segment. So 2.5 weeks in, last week we did overreactions to the season and everything. We'll kind of do like a similar segment here. So we'll go through a good amount of teams. We have like the full hour, so we have enough time to go through most of these teams. But we'll skip the Celtics because we already know both of us are gonna. We already bought all the stock possible in the Celtics, so we don't really need to discuss whether we're going to buy or sell that. Because despite them losing 2 games so far, that by no means wants us to sell them. But the Warriors, are you buying or selling, Matt? First off, let's discuss what buying versus selling means. Because do we want to do like buy as in better than what they're going to be, or do we want to do buy as in like competitors, or maybe should I maybe give like a give like an over under as to how far they would be? So if I say like, okay, Warriors making the conference finals or whatever, okay, yes, I'll do that.
So it's like if it was based off of regular season, I didn't think I thought they were going to be like kind of a playing team again, and now they're at 7-1. Like obviously they're not going to keep that up. So
no, so I'll say how about we go Warriors winning a playoff series, making it to the second round.
All right, so let's think about this. They would play. They're probably not going to be a top 4 seed. I would say maybe. Give me a second to think. Sorry, it's probably going to be Oklahoma City, Minnesota. Who's going to be that 3 seed? I thought it would be Denver, but
Denver's 5-3. Yeah, and we'll talk about them in a second. But Phoenix maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. I don't think they win a playoff series.
I'm selling as well.
There's a lot of – they're a deep team, but, I mean, there are a lot of question marks. You don't know what you're going to get from some of these guys. Buddy Hield is on, his 4th team in 4 years. Like, that's for a reason. Like, it's for a reason. And he's been one of their best players so far. I'm going to sell. I don't think they win a playoff series. I think they're.
I'm selling on them as well. They're running very high. They're tied for first in the East. Now they're tied between the 3 big guys. I believe in Steph Curry. Steph Curry is one of the most clutch players in the league. I had him at number 8 going into the season. But that's only from building a championship. If it's one game tomorrow, and I need to build a starting line with 5 guys, he's in my starting line without a doubt. I'm putting him ahead of most guys in the league, including guys ahead of him like a Shea or I don't even know who else, but in my top 7, like Shea and Luka. Like I'm putting Steph Curry ahead of those guys in a 1-game situation. But building a championship team, Steph Curry, and I don't believe in most of the other guys around. Draymond has been awesome to begin the year as a defensive anchor, and he still has his moments where he's still playing. He has moments where he's still anchoring a great defense, which I'm by no means a film expert, but I was watching Tyler Britton, who's on the show earlier. He was analyzing Draymond defense, and he still has some of it. He doesn't he's obviously not who he was in 2016, but he's still one of the smartest defenders of all time, and he has his moments, but it's not going to be good. It's not going to be enough to lead the Warriors to a championship team, especially because Steph is aging, and they don't really have a solid number 2. Before we move on to the next team, I don't think that any Lakers team that I've ever hated, that including the 2010 Lakers, if the Warriors traded for Jimmy Butler, I don't think I would hate a Warriors a team more than I ever did this current Warriors team, because they would probably trade Wiggins, because they would have to trade one of Wiggins or Draymond. So it would probably be Wiggins.
It would be Wiggins, I would think.
Yeah, it would be Wiggins, Pod. Do they give it Kuminga? Or it would be Wiggins.
Wiggins or Kuminga, I think, one of those 2.
It has to be either Wiggins or Draymond, for money purposes. So that has to be one of Wiggins. Yes, it would have to be Wiggins.
I don't think that would be Kuminga
then. Maybe Gary Payton. But I just so maybe because they were talking about on player's choice. So take that with a grain of salt. But what the Warriors do need is a second scorer. With Jimmy Butler can absolutely be that guy, but I would hate that so much because for a fact the Warriors would end up making the finals then, and we'd have to face Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, the two Celtics, who probably given us more angry flashbacks than any other team in the past 5 years.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we can move on to the next team. So we've talked. Let's talk about the Nuggets. So why don't we set the Nuggets at the? We'll go win a playoff series for them too, because making it past the first round. Do we go conference finals instead?
I would buy winning a playoff series, sell winning 2 playoff series.
I was going to say that. I was going to say the same thing, because they're 5-3 now, and that's with. I do think they're going to improve their bench by the trade deadline. I think they're going to. They can't really make it. They can't make a ton of moves, but at the end of the day, Jokic has been awesome. Is playing his best basketball yet, and that is 100% sustainable. He's proven that he can elevate his game in the playoffs. Christian Braun has been playing awesome as well. It's just that Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Michael Porter Jr. have not been their best, and
Gordon's
that's right. Yeah. So once those guys get healthy, and once I think Jamal Murray, I do believe in Jamal Murray to turn that around in the playoffs. I 100% believe in the Nuggets to make. You know what? Screw it. I'm buying them. I'm buying them to make the conference finals. And I think it's obviously that's not my prediction, but like it's definitely their stock is very low right now just by being 5-3, and I still 100% believe that they could be one of the two best teams in the West if things work out in their favor. So how about we do the Suns then? They're 7-1 now. The Suns was the team that I had the hardest time ranking at the beginning of the season because obviously there was everything last year where they didn't really address their defense and they addressed their playing, but they didn't really address their defense and they didn't address their size as well. But at the end of the day, they still won 40 something, 40, I think it was 40, what was it, 46 games last year. And then they just happened to run into a team they didn't really match up well with. I wasn't expecting them to be this good though. So they're 7-1. So do we buy or do we sell on them making the let's do second round for them? Do you think they can make the to make the second round?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I had no idea what to expect for the Suns coming into the season. They had some hype, especially on the podcast I was listening to. Bill Simmons loved the Suns. Numbers on the board really love the Suns.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really like what I'm seeing from them. I think Bud, they're playing Joe Mazzulla, light ball, Bud ball. Kevin Durant looks like an MVP candidate. Tyus Jones, I know you're not a huge Tyus Jones guy because he's a very bad defender, and it's like everyone always brings up his assist to turnover ratio, and that's like not a crazy important stat. But it's they were missing a point guard, and it seems like he kind of unlocked an answer for him. And they're 7-1 with Devin Booker not playing that well, so I like him a lot.
True. Yeah. I like him a lot too. Obviously, the main concern is it's just the defense that comes around come playoff time. But I was just like, and like this is only based and take my eye test with a grain of salt. But like, I was watching the end of the Sixers game, which granted that's no Embiid, but they were hedging. They were like doing like the proper switches at the exact same time. Yusuf Nurkic was diving down like the perfect timing. It was the best defense that I saw the Suns play in the past 2 years. So it was very fascinating to see down the stretch there. So next we'll do. We're not going to. We'll skip the Thunder because they're as we expected them to be. Let's go the Mavs. The Mavs are currently 5-3. They have some big wins. They had the big win against the. The big win against the Wolves a few weeks ago. A couple weeks ago. Who did they play last night? They played they blew at the Bulls last night. They played the. They lost to the Pacers by 7 on Monday. Can the Mavs? I feel like we're doing first round for both of these, but get past the first round for the Mavs.
Could you pin Matt's comment real quick, his most recent one?
I can.
Mavs, laughing face, laughing face, laughing face for those listening on Spotify. I totally agree, Matt. I am selling hard on the Mavericks. Might be a little biased, but Klay Thompson, I can't believe I fell for it after the first game. I'm like, maybe he just fits well with this team. He stinks. Their defense is really, really bad. I still think they have a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Their defense is bad. Derek Lively got played off the court in the finals. I know he's a rookie and he's been playing well, but I don't really know if I trust him. I'm selling hard on the Mavs.
I mean, I already sold all of my stock in the Mavs, so I have nothing else to sell. But I'm telling you right now, I am not planning on buying any stock from the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to be a fun regular season team at the very best. They have 3 guys that can generate some offense. Kyrie Irving is one of the most fun players in the league to watch. Luka is one of the least fun players in the league to watch. Clay's like a fun guy to watch off the ball because he moves around a lot without the ball. That team is not at all sustainable for the rest for a championship run. They are not getting past the first round, as I mentioned from the beginning of the year. Let's any teams that come to mind for you, Matt?
To buy or sell? Let me pull up the standings real quick. All right. Your Memphis Grizzlies, you had them very high at the beginning of the season, and they have been they're 5-4. They beat the Lakers last night. They blew them out. Desmond Bane's out, right? Correct.
Desmond Bane is out. He's one of the 8 members of my fantasy team that has been injured. So yeah.
Yeah, you got to talk to John from JFK to switch his name because I think you're Glass Bones Parade this year.
Yeah, it's not 8, by the way, guys. It's only about 5 or 6, but it's still a lot. Scotty Barnes, Tyrese Maxey now, Desmond Bane, CJ McCollum, Brandon Miller for the beginning of the year. Yeah, it hasn't been
fun. Yeah. So your Grizzlies. What do you think? I'm gonna put it. I mean, let's just say, are you buying or selling? I don't want to put any parameters on it, but if we were to put parameters on it, I say Western Conference Finals.
I'll buy. I still believe in them. Yep, I'll buy. I believe in John Moran, and I believe in Jaren Jackson Jr., and I believe in Taylor Jenkins. Those three guys have playoff experience. And I think they're only going to get better. They're going to get better as the season goes on, in my opinion. Hopefully Marcus Smart will come back and be healthy for a little bit, but he's going to be the playoff experience guy. Matt McCann is selling them hard. I'm sure that's not at all coming from him being bitter from Zach Edey playing like crap for most of the season, besides the one night that he benched him. So, but yeah, I'm buying. Memphis Grizzlies are currently the 9th seed. They're going to be a much better team. If we're just doing buy or sell, I'm 100% buying. But the conference finals, I had them make it the conference finals at the beginning of the year. I might be selling that in a little bit, but I'm sticking with them.
I love how you're sticking with your guys. I'm gonna sell them. I do like Taylor Jenkins a lot. I don't know why I like John Morant. I feel like he is like, he has like his off-court issues. Like he kind of seems like he's like super cocky, and like usually it's the guy like those guys I don't like. I kind of like him. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him. I like Ja.
He kind of has and like I feel like I don't know if he has the mentality, but like I feel like maybe the way that I'm looking at it, like I kind of look at him as an underdog now, because a lot of people are counting him out. People are saying that Ant is so much better than him, which so far he has been better than him. It shouldn't be by that much though, because you could definitely argue that Ja's best season was better than Anthony Edwards last year. So. But by no means am I completely selling on the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I'm going to sell. I don't know.
Sure,
the West is really good. The West
is very good. Yeah,
and they they're already banged up right now. And
yeah.
Marcus Smart, before his injury, hate to say it, he looked very, very old.
He did look very old. The on-off numbers are still very good though, which
maybe he was hurt too. Like maybe it was like lingering.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Speaking of hurts, I'm not speaking of hurt because they haven't really had any injuries yet, but let's go with the Los Angeles Lakers. I've a very strong opinion about this one. I don't know about I'm going to speak for a second. This one, first. This one, I'm selling the what out of the Lakers. I wasn't really high on them to begin with. They were already they went 3-0. All their annoying fans were talking about how Darvin Ham sucks. It was all him. The Lakers were always this great team, and everything. They bring in JJ Redick, who the media like established as Jesus Christ from the beginning of the season, and then after they went 3-0, they talk about how he's the next Pop and everything. I don't believe in the Lakers at all. LeBron, Anthony Davis is playing his best basketball yet. Maybe not his best basketball yet, but he's looking like MVP candidate. Like that talk for all these years about Anthony Davis becoming the leader of the Lakers is finally becoming true. But LeBron James is slowing down now. Let's be honest. He played phenomenal last night, but I mean, I know he starts off the season slow usually, but it's never been this bad though. So. And the rest of the roster blows. They're talking about sending D'Angelo Russell down to the bench now. They're talking about trading him. Austin Reeves is a good player. Rui Hachimura stinks. Their bench, awful. Who was it? Cam Reddish, Max Christie, Bronny James. They're finally sending down to the G League. They stink. They're not winning a playoff series. They're at best a playing team. Do not be surprised that they don't get past the playing tournament this year.
Chris, I totally agree with that. I said last podcast, I'm like, the Lakers, they could be fun. They got, new coach, LeBron and AD. And John he jumped to my neck. He thought I was saying they were going to win the championship. I said they were going to be fun. I totally agree. AD's great. He's MVP candidate. We know how good Anthony Davis is. LeBron is slowing down, but we know how good he is. It's especially in this era of basketball, you need a complete team.
Yes.
Not even to win, just to compete. And maybe I know the honeymoon phase with JJ Redick is ending because I saw a couple angry Laker fans on Twitter. I'm shocked it took 8 games. But yeah, the rookie Dalton Connect, he's been okay. Like he looks like a rookie. D'Lo, they're talking about trading for the 3rd year in a row. Where are they going to trade him, and what value does he have? Like, what are they going to get to compete for a championship if you trade D'Lo? Like, I don't know. I don't like the position they're in. They're old and they don't have a ton of draft capital, and I'm selling hard. I don't like the Lakers at all.
D'Lo is perfect for the Lakers because he plays great off the pick and roll with AD, and he's a point guard that could shoot next to LeBron. He's a perfect fit with the Lakers. But however, now that LeBron needs more help on defense, and that's and that there's like certain things that D'Lo needs to do a little bit more of, he's starting to lose his value with the Lakers, and he's not much more valuable with another team as well. So my guy Jack LaSalle just said they would get a bag of chips and an orange for D'Lo. I agree. I don't know what.
I don't know if the team would throw in the orange. I think a bag of chips. I do not know if they would get an orange.
Might do reverse. I might get the chips, and you can keep the orange actually. Yeah. Neither of us are really on the Lakers. We'll do one more team in the West, and the team that I've always had a soft spot for no reason whatsoever.
The Clippers?
Yes.
All right. I also have a team after this.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
The Clippers, I don't think there's I think their stock is probably the lowest it's ever been.
Yes.
I didn't buy any at the beginning of the offseason because I had a lot of uncertainties with Kawhi. I'm selling.
Okay.
I think this is the first year of the new stadium, the new arena. It's cool. The team stinks. I do not like the team at all. James Harden has the ball for 40 minutes a game. I mean, Kai Jones was getting minutes. I mean, he's been getting pretty consistent minutes. Kevin Porter Jr. is, one of the worst human beings ever, and he's not that good at basketball. I don't think the Clippers are very good. Oh, Jack LaSalle, big Zubac. Zubac is playing awesome. Zubac is playing amazing. But even with that, I don't think I'm selling all my stock in the Clippers.
The Clipper stock is an all-time low. I'm buying their stock. I think that I think they finished with a better record than the Lakers. Again, this is kind of overreactions, but I'm buying stock right now. I think they finished with a better record than the Lakers. If Kawhi can come back by All-Star break, that would be awesome. Why not? Just play games. Just to play one games.
I forgot to mention Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if he's going to even play this year. That was another part why I'm selling.
I don't know if he is either. I don't know.
There's a clip of him standing up off the bench off of Twitter, and his leg was extended and off the ground because he can't put any weight on his knee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm buying very low. It's a very low stock.
Penny stock.
Mm-hmm. What was it?
I said it's a penny stock right now.
Penny stock, yeah, so that's why I'm buying extremely low. By the way, I don't know if so Sports Flu and Tony just texted me. I don't know if he's watching the show, but he just said his son's actually the one that did the thumbnail today. Which, Matt, I don't know if you saw the thumbnail from earlier. I sent in the group chat earlier.
Yeah, I did.
It did.
Great work.
It flew into your ear. It's looking very good. Yeah, I don't know if you're watching, but yeah, I'll respond to that text after the show. But it's looking great. So very nice work. I agree with everything said. So yeah, we did the West. We'll move on to the East now.
Wait, sorry. Could I add one more team?
Sure.
The Houston Rockets.
Mm-hmm. I'm selling. They're a fun team. They're a young team. What are they? 2 wins in a row. Yeah, they have potential. Ime Udoka is a hardcore coach. The players love him. I love myself an old school guy. Not really much else to say. I haven't really watched. I'm being a pretty bad analyst right now, but I haven't really watched a ton of the Rockets this year. I don't think they can win a playoff series if I'm being honest. Yeah, they're a young team. If they're going to go up against like a more experienced team like the Thunder, the Warriors, maybe not they could beat the Suns, but I think they can win a playoff series. I should take it out. I think they can win a playoff series. I don't think they will win a playoff series.
Yeah, I really wanted to disagree with you on one of these. I guess the Clippers I did. I was gonna say bye, and then you said I don't think they could win a playoff series, and I totally agree. I mean they can, but you don't think they will. I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
They're
it's
a
one of
deep
those.
team that their defense, like Ime is gonna have obviously gonna have a good defensive scheme. They're gonna be a good defensive team. Um, they're young and they're fun to watch. I like the Rockets. I mean, I don't like Ime Udoka, but I do like a lot of the players on the Rockets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna
Okay.
root for the Rockets. I like
All
the
right.
Rockets.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Really found that. Cool. Yes, we go. We'll do the East now. Let's do. This would be almost like let's do the Cavs. So the Cavs are currently undefeated. Stock is at an all-time high. The East blows. They got so many things so many. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to look at the Cavs as a good way. Obviously, Evan Mobley is playing his best basketball. He's really turning into that superstar, and that's with Donovan Mitchell playing. He's playing great basketball, but definitely not his best. So, Matt, are you buying or selling them? If you can determine that how you want, because we did the whole deadline thing, but you can determine how you want on that. What do you think?
I'm all in on the Cavs. Obviously,
Love it.
9-0. They're not going to go 82-0. I think it's very sustainable what they're doing, though. Kenny Atkinson seems to be working very well. Bill Simmons had a great point. He mentioned that nights where like Darius Garland has it, Donovan Mitchell kind of lets him get his.
True.
It's like Darius Garland, I'm going to feed him, get him the ball. And that's like Darius Garland when Mitchell's having a good night. He feeds Mitchell. Between Mobley and Allen, they really lock it down in the interior. Evan Mobley is looking like Tim Duncan this year. Obviously, problem is their depth. Their bench isn't that great, but I am buying the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they're
It's
awesome.
funny how
Their bench is all right. It's not great, but it's better than I expected.
yeah,
So,
that's for sure. It's funny how they've done all this without they've been like a top 4 seed in the East for the past couple of years. Done that's been without a quality. Isaac Okoro is fine, but he's not. He wouldn't be starting on most teams. So they've done all the. I feel like small forward is a very important position, but the Cavs just haven't done that. They've doubled down on their backcourt and they've doubled down on their big guys as well. So very interesting to say the least. Yeah, I'm buying on the Cavs as well. I think the Celtics are the clear number 1 team. I think the Cavs are the clear number 2. I think we'll start comparing them to other teams later. But yeah, I'm buying it. I'm all in the Cavs. It's far more likely that they make the conference finals than losing the first round. Like I said, with some of these teams. So we'll do one. How about we do the
Can we do the next? Yeah, I was gonna say, can we do the Knicks for the Nick fan in the chat?
Yeah, absolutely. Jackson Nick fan. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure. Yeah. I was my mind was going there for a second. The Knicks. I'm someone like I was lower on the Knicks to begin the year, and they haven't really done much to. And I'm not taking a victory up by any stretch because I really don't know what to expect from them the rest of the year. What are they 3-4? They've had some good wins. They lost the Hawks last night, bringing out some PTSD, especially with Trae Young's nasty comments at the end of the games as well. Just to be nice to my Knicks fan friends because they're so loyal to the show, but I really don't return the favor a lot to them because I'm very mean to the Knicks both in the pod and on Twitter. So I'll buy them just because I do think that they definitely I don't see a world where they lose in the first round because the East is so bad. I think they definitely finish in the top 4 in the East, and I definitely think that they win a playoff series.
By the way, you said the Knicks have some good wins. They don't. They blew out the Pacers. That's a good win.
You're right. Yeah.
And then the Heat and the Pistons, and the Heat and the Pistons stink.
Yeah.
I am buying the Knicks.
Okay.
I'm totally buying the Knicks. Cat looks awesome. Jalen Brunson's been playing very, very poorly, and the Knicks are still keep staying afloat. I'm buying the Knicks. They're a little banged up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Mitchell Robinson's out. Precious Achiuwa's missed some time. I still think they're the second best team in the East. I think the Cavs could beat them in a potential playoff series, but I think there is I think the Knicks are still the better team. I think they'll figure it out. It's been they've played 7 games together. This team, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. Tibbs is a good coach. He'll run the boys to the ground until they figure it out. So they'll be good. Everyone will come back. They'll be fine.
Fine by me. I'm trying to think. I don't know what exactly I would do because if the roles were reversed, where like the Knicks were 9-0 and then the Cavs were 3-4. If that were the case, I guess I did have the Knicks ahead of the Cavs beginning of the year. But yeah, I don't know. I'm someone who likes to do my analysis based off of big game sample sizes. So that's why I really don't like exercises like these, even though I'm the one that came up with this. But I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that though. Definitely don't mind the Knicks buying the Knicks and having them come into the conference finals. 3 through 5. I think we're gonna mix these next 3 teams all together because no one expected them to be this good. The Pacers, the Nets, and the Hawks. Are you buying on any of those teams?
No.
All those. Hang on. Before I get to that, 2 of those teams are 500. The other teams are under 500. The Pacers and the Nets are 500. The Hawks are under 500. I'm selling on all those guys. Maybe they win some games. Maybe they, maybe they get lucky in the first round of the conference guys. Maybe Tyrese Halliburton turns it around. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Trae Young Trae Young continues to play. He was good at the beginning of the first couple of games of the year. Then he's been really efficient, very inefficient the past couple of games. The Nets, I don't believe in at all. The Nets are going to start eventually losing games on purpose. They'll try tomorrow against the Celtics, but they don't want their front office. They don't want to win games. They're going to start. They're going to trade Dennis Schroeder at the deadline. They're going to maybe they'll trade Cam Thomas depending on how great he's been playing. I don't know which teams would want that. I'm selling on all 3 of those teams.
I think it's a little. I think the Pacers are a clear tier above the other 2 teams. I think
that's fair.
I think all 3 of these teams are in different tiers. I think the Pacers are in one tier, the Hawks are a tier below them, and I think the Nets are one of the worst teams in the league. Like the comments are saying, the Pacers can win some games. They're going to be a tough. They're going to try super hard during the regular season. They're going to be a tough beat every time they're on the floor. I think last year was kind of like an everything goes right for them in the playoffs. Obviously, besides at the end where Halliburton got hurt, but they made the conference finals, and I think that was kind of their ceiling last year. The East does stink, so maybe they can make the conference finals again. So I'm gonna buy the Pacers, and I am selling the very little stock that I have in the Hawks. I think they're not very good. I do like what I saw from the first round pick against the Knicks the other night. Was that last night they played?
It was last night.
Yeah, he scored like 33 points or something like that.
Yeah. I like you said first round pick. I like you said first round pick because we don't know how to say his name. We'll call him ZR.
Yeah, it's like ZR Rishashari or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I think the Nets stink. I think they're horrible.
Yeah. Shout out Lee McAllister, but they're not a good team. The East blows, man. Everyone is so bad. Oh my god.
What are your plans to do with your Milwaukee Bucks stock, Chris? Your Milwaukee Bucks.
Hey, Doc Rivers is making adjustments tonight. He's moving Gary Trent Jr. into the bench. He's starting. Have to look up his name. But who was it actually? I actually don't know his name. What's the guy?
Griffin, is it?
What? Andrew Jackson, I think. Right? Jackson, right?
Is it Jackson? Am I? Is that...
If this was a podcast we didn't like, by the way, doing what we're doing right now, we would be best. They'd be like, "Who the hell are these guys? They don't even know who this certain player is."
Wait, what was the name I said?
You said Andre Griffin.
Andre Jackson.
Andre Jackson
Jr. I'm confusing him with AJ Griffin, but
AJ Griffin is never mind. Okay. The Bucks. I'm going to. Their stock is at the floor. I'm going to put 5 cents into that stock because at the end of the day, you have Giannis and you have Dame, who's playing really good basketball. When you have two great players playing great basketball, there's only so much you can do. But if Chris Middleton comes back, maybe they can become a passable team that can squeak into the playoffs and then give a second and give a second or third seed a hard time depending on injuries. I'm putting very very little on. Maybe I put because my time to sell would have been last week, but however they've lost every game since then. But they've just been so bad that I can't really sell. Like I've already bought too much money that I can't sell too much more. So I'm going to put very very little extra money into them if anything works out. But that's my stance on the Bucks because I've already taken the L on them so far. But yeah.
I am selling the Bucks and I am taking out more money and shorting the Bucks. They stink. I am so out on the Bucks. I said it very early at the beginning of the year, Chris.
You did.
I think it was 2 episodes ago. I was like, I'm out on the Bucks. I got a lot of issues, and the issues are coming to light. I think Doc Rivers is, it's time to hang him up. I do appreciate what he did in 2008, but I think the right.
Why did he come out of retirement?
I don't know.
It's not even like it's not even like it was one of those things where it was like Tom Brady left retirement and he was still a great football player that he just wanted to cut back and prove people wrong. He clearly was out of his prime. He blew a 3-1 lead when he was with the Clippers. Then he was like, okay, I'm going to come back. Okay, maybe this will be my last stint with the Sixers. Maybe I'll do this. He blew a 3-2 lead against the Celtics, where his best player completely pissed over himself and then let Jason Tatum drop 51 on them. And then he's like, okay, maybe I'll hang him up. Oh no. This player Giannis, who has a history of falling apart in the playoffs, is going to come now, and now they're clearly dealing with some locker room issues. Oh yeah, this is the perfect job for me. What the hell is wrong with you, Doc? Doc, yeah. I love you. I think the media is very unfair to you, to be honest with you. I know that people said he's the most overrated coach. He's not. I don't think he's overrated at all. I think he's just a little over. Maybe he's overrated by the players because like I know a lot of players like him. But Doc, we love you. After this year, you got to hang up though, because I understand not wanting to leave. You want to fill up your contract. That's which I think the Bucks should hang on to them because at the end of the day, if you fire 2 coaches in the middle of the year, back to back years, that's an awful look. So hang on to Doc the rest of the year, chalk that up as a bad hiring, and move the hell on.
I don't think they're going to hold on to him for the whole year. I think he's gone soon.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, you got your franchise player who's the second best player in the league. Talking about like, oh, you guys might trade me, like trying to force his way out of there. I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him there.
I don't know. I don't know if they're still paying Bud or not, but if they are, imagine them paying 4 coaches at the same time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Matt in the comment section says AJ Griffin is that white dude. I thought AJ Griffin was the one that left basketball to become a minister.
I don't really know how that. Yeah, one
or become a priest.
AJ. Yeah. Yes, I do. It was and then his dad was the old coach of the Bucks, so that was Adrian Griffin. Right? Yeah, yeah. We've already crapped on the Sixers enough. I mean, we're not going to kick them while they're down because now that their franchise player is coming back on Tuesday, their other franchise player is out for a couple weeks now, who's on my fantasy team, as I mentioned earlier. And also he's not only my fantasy team, he's also one of our favorite players.
Yeah, I think this might just be like a season from hell for the Sixers.
And that's what I called from the beginning of the year. Like I'm not taking my victory. Like I say, I'm taking my victory lap on them because like I know it's a little premature, but that's okay though. One more team before we go into the next segment. Paolo Banchero is out for a couple weeks. He's out for 3 or 4 weeks. The Magic have lost 5 games. Lost 5 games. Lost 5 games in a row. I'm buying stock in them. Their stock is probably lower now because they think like, oh, their team stinks without Paulo. I don't think that's the case at all. I think they just ran into a couple of tough opponents, and they're a little uncomfortable now. Once they get comfortable and they start like playing better basketball, and then Paulo comes back, they're gonna be a great team. I think there's still 1,000% a world where they win the playoff series, and then I don't know, potentially if they run into luck, maybe make the conference finals. There were still 100. They're gonna fall to like the 6 or 7 seed probably. Maybe come back and maybe they'll climb back. Oh no, they're lower right now actually, but maybe they climb back up to like the 5-6 seed. There is 100% a world where that happens, and I'm still in on the Magic.
I am all in on the Magic. Jalen Suggs is playing great. They have to like my fantasy team where I follow. They just got to float for the 2 months. They got to survive.
Yeah,
I love the Magic. I really love the Magic.
Yeah, I don't think my team is going to survive. Honestly, yeah, like I might have to start making some trades, but we'll see.
Yeah, you're kind of like the Sixers right now. It's like the season from hell.
Yeah.
Everything's going wrong.
You brought up Jalen Suggs. Did you hear what Simmons said about how Jalen Suggs would be the third? I don't know if you listened to the most recent episode. Did you? You did, right?
I listened to half of it today at work.
Okay. Yeah. So he said that if you were to do a redraft from 2021, I think it would have been, or was it 2021 was Kate Cunningham, right?
Yeah, he went one.
So he said that if you did a draft for 2021, Jalen Suggs would have been third. So at first I thought like, okay, he was 5, maybe he would have been just as good. I was like, but then he started listing off names. He's like, okay, so he said Mobley would be 1, and then Cade would be 2. So I was like, okay, so maybe 3. And then he said, oh, Scotty would be this. I'm like, no, Scotty's way better than Jalen Suggs. And he's like, oh, and then Shane Goon. I'm like, no, Shane Goon is way better than I like Jalen Suggs, but no, he's not better than these guys. So I was, I'm gonna do a screen recording for that later because I was like, I love Jalen Suggs, but I strongly disagree with that.
Yeah, I totally disagree with that. This draft is pretty solid.
It's a very good, but like, and Jalen Suggs is contributing to winning for sure, which I understand why he's want to put him there. But at the end of the day, they also had the number 1 draft pick, which turned around their franchise. So, I don't really know about that. Now we'll jump into the last. We have time. But yeah, we'll go into the last segment of the day. We're gonna list our top 5 MVP candidates. Full transparency, both of us heading into the show, I said to Matt, I said, "Oh crap, it was literally 8:59." I said, "Oh, we forgot to make our MVP list," and then he said, "Oh crap, I forgot to." So we did that. We both of us literally made our list in 5 seconds. However, I did make my list. I'm doing my list every week, so I made mine for Monday, but I did update it since. Matt, do you want to give yours to start off?
Yeah. I did do this, as the show was going on, so bear with me. But I actually do like my list a decent amount.
Okay.
At number 5, I have Anthony Davis. He's putting. You said you correct yourself saying this isn't the best we've seen Anthony Davis. Maybe during the 2020 playoff run, but he looked awesome. I kind of agree with that. That this might be the best we've ever seen him. Number 2, I have SGA. Obviously, number 4.
Yeah.
So 5 is 80, 4 is SGA. His numbers last year were better, but the Thunder are way better this year. And what are they 8-1? The Thunder
7-1.
7-1, and they're tough loss to the Nuggets obviously last night, but they've looked awesome. His numbers are worse than last year, but they're still really really good. At number 3, I love pushing this guy's agenda. Kevin Durant. Durant has looked awesome to start the year. I think he has 5 30-point games to start the year. 5 out of 7 or 5 out of 8. I forget how many games they played. I think they're 5-3, so 8. He's clearly been the best player on the Suns, and the Suns look very, very good. At number 2, I really, really, really want to put him 1. Is Jason Tatum. This is the best he's ever looked. He's averaging 32 this year. It's like a career or a NBA history, one of the best starts in NBA history. Unbelievable start. I really wanted to put him 1, but unfortunately I could not because Nikola Jokic is the best player in basketball still and is proving it. He's averaging 29 points, I think, this year. Jokic, I think, could average 40 points if he wanted to. He just gets his teammates going. He's an elite rebounder. The Nuggets do look better now, but if they need him to consistently score like he has been, he might win the scoring title. And I am obviously a huge I'm not a huge Jokic fan. I do enjoy Jokic, but I'm not technically a fan. But I think he's in a world of his own. Unbelievable basketball talent. He's clearly the best player in the league, so he's my number 1.
100%. Jokic is the best player in the league. It's unfortunate, and I say it's unfortunate. The Nuggets are underachieving with them, but they're still winning games, so it's pretty unbelievable. Now, before anyone jumps at me, because this is going to be a very controversial list, and I feel like I'm being a very typical media guy when I'm giving my list now, because it's going differently than most people. The criteria of this list is if I had a vote today for MVP, who would I vote for? And to keep in mind, think of like we're in April now. Think with the end of the season, based on how these guys are playing, what would I do? So Number 5, I do have Kevin Durant at number 5. Durant's been playing awesome. He had like a really clutch. He's had a couple clutch shots. I do think he has been the best player in the Suns for sure. I know that some of the numbers, some of the advanced numbers would suggest that it's Booker, but I still do believe that it's, even though Booker might be like the leader in the team, I still do believe that Durant draws most of the defensive attention than Booker does. That's my opinion. At 4, I do have Shea. I did have Shea at number 1 before last night's. I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, he's been awesome. He has the team. He has a better team, but however, he's still been playing just as good. Maybe slightly worse, but still playing pretty great. I do have Nikola Jokic at number 3. That's mostly because of team success. And as great as maybe I'm selling him a little low. But I definitely think he'll be in the top 2 by next week. I'm thinking. Number 2, I have Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has looked his best. Matt knows who my number 1 is, and I don't know if Matt McCann's gonna laugh his ass off when I ruin my number 1 in a second. But Jason Tatum's been playing awesome. He's been playing his best basketball yet. I would appreciate Tatum being a little more consistent with his jump shot, because as I care more about winning, and I care more about him making his jump shots when he needs to. He hits his jumpers in blowout games earlier in the games, so they could bench him towards the end. But however, I would like it if he stopped chucking up 3-pointers when he doesn't need to, so it can bring down his percentage. I'd much rather him keep his percentage up so we can finally win MVP. Now, if a team went 82-0, would you vote for the best player on that team to win MVP?
Yes.
Yes. There's only one undefeated team. There's only one undefeated team left, and their best player on that team is Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is the best player on the Cavaliers. Has he been the best player in basketball this year? He has not. But
has he been the best player on the Cavaliers this year?
It's debatable.
No, he has not.
He won Player of the Week.
Sorry, I don't want to cut your rant off. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Yeah, he won Player of the Week last week, so it's not like it's like totally out of left field. He had a clutch shot against the Bucks. He's had some awesome games. But yeah, you mentioned about how he defaults to Darius Garland sometimes. He defaults to some guys, but at the end of the day, I trust Donovan Mitchell is the leader on the team, and he brings out the most in those guys. So once the Cavs lose, don't worry. Once the Cavs lose next week, he's going to be outside this top 5 list. But for now, the Cavs are the only undefeated team left, and he's the leader on that team, and he's the best player on the team. Donovan Mitchell is my MVP as of today.
By the way, Chris, you were talking your critique on Tatum was his consistency. In 22% of Donovan Mitchell's games, he is shooting 38% or lower. Because it is 2 out of the 9 games, but Donovan Mitchell is averaging 24, 3, and 4. That is not MVP numbers. I get they're 9-0. But it's not MVP numbers.
That's right. And this was more justifiable when they were 4-0. By the way, keep having in the side, but now that they're 9-0, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to keep up. I'm standing on this agenda because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But
Matt said this is like when Chris Paul got that vote for the Suns team.
Exactly, it's exactly what it is. What it's like. No, Nick Wright was gaslighting everyone. Was in. He was like the obvious choice. I was like, he was like debatably the best player on his own team, which is, I know it's kids for Donovan Mitchell, but like Chris Paul was better in the playoffs than Booker, though. Like, I'll give him that. But
regular season award though.
No, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm saying in general. Okay. All right. We're literally at the top of the hour now, or the end of the hour now, so that's perfect. So episode 50 went great. I don't know why I paused there for a second, but yeah, this has been another. Matt, thanks so much for coming on. Well, hopefully we'll have the full panel back on next week. This has been another episode of the All-American Hoops podcast. Make sure to follow All-American Hooper on all social media platforms. That includes TikTok, Instagram, and X. Subscribe to @SportsFluent on YouTube to catch every episode on Thursdays at 8:00. Shout out to Fluent Jr. for designing the thumbnail again. Follow @SportsFluent on X, Instagram, and TikTok. And now it's SportsFluent TV, by the way, is the new YouTube channel. So that's a very cool thing to see. But yeah, I hope everyone has an awesome night, and yeah, and let's go Celtics.
Canada. Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.